My name is Maria and I'm a surgeon. You might be wondering if my entire life is consumed by my work, and lately I would say that you are right. My friends want to go on a trip with me? I have no time due to work. Or I want to have a significant other? I can't because I spend my entire day working. I'd love to be a mother, but I can't because I spend all of my time at work. However, despite all that, I'm glad to say that I do love my profession. I know that many people share that same sentiment, although that feeling of thinking to yourself, that person is alive thanks to me, well, it's very comforting. However, yeah, the price you have to pay for that is sometimes high. Countless hours of study, countless hours of work, and a huge lot of stress. Stress such as what I experienced on March the 8th. That excitement a medical professional feels when they save someone doesn't always happen. Sometimes you can give it your all, and despite your best efforts, lives can be lost at the operating room. That week, I had been working many more hours than usual. Many of my co-workers had contracted a stomach virus, and I had to take care of all the emergencies alone. Up to one point, I had spent 48 hours at the hospital without rest. I think my legs were moving on their own, and I had a massive headache. In that moment, two patients came from a traffic accident. A girl who had been run over and had bruises on her leg, and the one responsible for running over her. A middle-aged taxi driver with a few bruises and glass shards on his face. Both needed to go into the operating room immediately, but I simply could not operate on both at the same time. After a swift assessment, I decided to act quickly and operate on the girl first. The operation took longer than I had anticipated. She had a lot of broken and dislocated bones. However, the operation ended up being successful. This girl would be able to walk again in a few months. Then it was time to act quickly and operate on the taxi driver next. However, when I came out of the operating room, my co-workers told me he had died. The man not only had bruises on his face, he had put on his seatbelt incorrectly, resulting in many of his organs getting crushed during the accident. His situation was way more critical than the girl's, but my tiredness and doing things in a rush resulted in me assessing his condition wrongly. I decided to go home, and the hospital called substitute doctors to cover me for a few days. I was morally devastated for what happened at the hospital. Nothing like that had ever happened to me in the past. I had lost patients before, but never due to such a huge mistake. I blamed myself for that death. I blamed my damn tiredness and not being 100% clear-headed to make the right decisions. After 3 days of not working, I had to go back to my routine. I had to leave the weeping and lamentations behind, and there still was a lot more people who needed my help. I couldn't keep brooding over it. So, since I had the night shift, I decided to take a taxi. I didn't want to drive at those hours. "Where to, miss?" asked the taxi driver. "Take me to the ER of the Santa Clara Hospital, please." I looked at the taxi's rearview mirror, and a shiver went down my entire body. Through the mirror, I could see his lips saying, "I'm taking you to hell, miss, for leaving me to die." If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life horror videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.